Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Funny that. And Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Instagram and TikTok, I'm at Movies TV Mad 555. Now, I'm about to do a very exciting video because I just saw a brilliant video from Ping Pong Flicks, aka Chris Wong Svensson. Now, you can follow him at Ping Pong Flicks. His YouTube channel is awesome. I have asked him if I can do this. He hasn't got back to me yet, but I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure he'll be fine with it because I really want to talk about this because basically this is a very exciting rumor about the Flash movie. So let's take a listen to his video.
Hey, welcome back. This is Chris Wong from the Ping Pong Flick Show. Obviously, this is another rumor. The Flash 2022, apparently the plot leak. Take with a huge dump truck loads of grain of salt. It's coming from 4chan. The Flash, Ezra Miller, and Batman, Ben Affleck, that's true, investigated the murder of Flash's mother, Nora, played by Maribel Verdú, to prove the innocence of Flash's father, Henry, played by Ron Livingston. Batman informs Flash that he assembled the Justice League after receiving a message from the future from an older version of Flash. Whoa, hold on, you're just satisfying some...
Right, so this is interesting, right? So basically, the film's going to start with Ben Affleck and Barry Allen, aka Ezra Miller, investigating Nora's murder. Now this is interesting because obviously in the Flash series, Barry's pretty much there when his mother's killed by the Reverse Flash. So this is a big change. Now I don't know the origin of the comics, and of course there's been different origins to the comics as well, with Flash's mother getting murdered. So we know that Henry Allen gets framed for the murder, but they're investigating the murder at the beginning of the film, and I think this is very interesting. But as Chris just said, from this rumor, and we must take it with a pinch of salt, basically Batfleck tells Barry that Barry Allen, came to him from the future to warn him about the nightmare future. So if this is true, and we don't know, but I've got a feeling this video is true, is that they're linking in to what's happened thus far in the DCEU and linking in the Snyderverse. Now, that's awesome for Snyderverse fans, but let's not forget that they're going to reboot the universe. So, kind of in the future, this won't be canon, but for now, this will be canon during this moment of the movie, so it's very, very interesting.
Snyder fans here by acknowledging that happened. That Flash came to Batman in a vision and says Lois is the key. Okay, I'm starting to like this. This is really cool. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Flash knows it is dangerous to alter the timeline, but is inspired by Batman's revelation to travel back in time to warn his parents of their fate so they can avoid it. So by Bruce telling Barry that happened,
So that's interesting. Him coming back from the future to the past in BVS to warn Batman about the nightmare future is the inspiration for him going back in time to save his mother's life, aka not only saving her life but stopping Henry, his father, from going to jail. So the inspiration is BVS, one of the most divisive DC movies, CBMs of all time. That's interesting. I would be very happy about this, but as I say, we must be cautiously optimistic because we know none of this will probably be canon in the end, but nothing, as Andy's already told us, will be forgotten.
It's like, wait a minute, if I can do that, can I do this? Flash instead breaches the dimensional barrier and ends up in a parallel universe where the government is hunting metahumans. Flash meets an older Batman played by Michael Keaton. We're in the...
Now, this metahuman war, we've heard about it already, and I've discussed it on live streams. I can't remember if I did an editorial about it. So basically, the government are hunting metahumans. Now, we don't know why, to collect them or to stop them, to get them to work for them, probably more realistically. Now, I believe this is something that may come to pass after the universe is rebooted as well, but we'll have to wait and see for that. So it's someone else talking about this metahuman war. As I've already said, I've already seen this video. I'm very excited about this video. As I said, go and subscribe to Ping Pong Flicks. But I actually think this is all true. And as I've said before, leaks happen for a reason. Because it doesn't really kill the movie if we know this stuff. Because we don't know the details of the movie. We got to watch it to enjoy it, right? But it's very interesting.
Verse, who decides to help him return to his own universe before the dimensional breach that he accidentally created destroys both realities. It is definitely a race against time to stop this cataclysmic thing of multi-universe.
So basically, it's a race against time so Keaton's universe isn't destroyed and Barry's actual universe isn't destroyed. And so Keaton and Ezra Miller unite to stop this. So this brings the pace of the story and the movie up.
Proportions something. The government deploys Mirror Master. What? It's played by Sarsi Monica. I can't say. I don't know. The daughter of one of Batman's old enemies to eliminate Flash and Batman. So it's not Reverse Flash. The Black Flash, the avatar of this.
Right, Mirror Master could be the villain of this movie. We don't know. So, Mirror Master's working for the government. Mirror Master is a woman in this iteration. I don't know the actress's name either, so we don't have to worry about that. And as I paused it, Black Flash is involved in this as well. Now, didn't we see Black Flash in a season of, was it in an animation? I can't remember now. But Black Flash is an awesome character in the DC universe.
Speed Force is also after Flash for endangering the multiverse. During the mission, Flash and Batman rescue Kara. Okay, they're saying it's Kara. Played by Sasha Calle, the daughter of Superman Christopher Reeve, who has died. Well,
so right, Chris is going to go on a little tirade after this, not agreeing with this. But as you all know, Brandon Routh's Superman is Christopher Reeve's Superman. What Chris is reporting from this rumor is that Sasha Calle will actually be Christopher Reeve's Superman's daughter. So, in turn, this makes her Brandon Routh's daughter. Now, I've always been telling you that Brandon Routh would play a role in this Flash movie, Flashpoint. So this would make him very, very important. Now, will Brandon Routh, when they reboot the universe, be a major Superman, a major player in this new universe? I think so. So this is very exciting. Let me reiterate to you. Now, Chris, when I press play again, he's going to be negative about this, that it's his prerogative. It's up to him how he feels. I think this is great for Brandon Routh's Superman to play such a major role and be Sasha Calle's Kara Zor-El's father. That's mad. That's basically making Margot Kidder her mother, but also Kate Bosworth. So this is madness. This is awesome. I like this.
What? Now I'm thinking this is kind of like not right. There is a Supergirl in Christopher Reeve's Superman universe, and I'm pretty sure her name's Kara as well. Come on!
Right. Listen to this. Helen Slater's Kara is another Kara. So basically, they must have named her. They must have named her after the cousin, after Supergirl, the original Supergirl. Now, this is interesting. When did they have this daughter? When did Superman father this version of Kara? This is interesting. Christopher Reeve's, Brandon Routh's Superman, when did he become a father? Was it after? Now, don't forget, he played Kingdom Come Superman in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So when did he become her father? Well, she's got to be at least 20 years old, right? So that's 20 years ago. So was this just before Lois Lane died when that disaster happened? Because just remember what Crisis did. It's very interesting. We won't know that until we see the film. But wow! Unlike Chris, I'm very excited about this.
Sasha Calle's Supergirl symbol does not even look like Christopher Reeve's Superman. It don't make sense. Kara's been captured by the government and she helps Flash and Batman defeat Mirror Master. Flash is too late and the realities begin to collapse. He races into the Speed Force, defeats Black Flash, and meets another Flash, Grant Gustin. Grant Gustin shows up. who encourages him to save both worlds. Flash resets the timeline by merging the two universes into a new reality where the Supergirl and the older Batman now exist alongside heroes such as Wonder Woman and Aquaman. No! This is our greatest fear. Our greatest fear. They are going to erase Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman by merging the
Right, so Chris is suggesting, because in this rumour it just mentions Wonder Woman and Aquaman and not Henry Cavill's Superman and Batfleck. That doesn't mean they're going to delete them. It's a possibility. I would not be happy about that, but I wouldn't be upset enough about that to kind of go mad about it. But this could be a thing. This could actually happen. But we don't know. They could be part of this central universe as well. There's nothing suggesting that this means Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck are being erased. We're going to have to wait and see.
universe. Flash proves his father's innocence in court and Henry is released from prison. Batman decides to assemble and lead the heroes of the new world. Okay, so this is where the mentor role comes into play. Kara becomes Supergirl to honor her father. I still don't think that's his daughter. I mean, that's kind of weird. I guess that is very Warner Brothers in order to slap that nostalgia sticker onto the thing. Like, yeah, we got Michael Keaton, and then guess what? This is the daughter of the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Now, Chris may not like it, many Snyderverse fans may not like it, but nostalgia sells. But it's also a brand new thing, and it's kind of exciting. But if she plays Supergirl in the Central Universe to honor her father, what's happened to Brandon Routh's Superman? Surely he would have to be a part of this. That's interesting. Would they delete him? Are we going to see him? This is interesting. It could be a situation where Brandon Routh's Superman is a Superman in the DC live action universe of one with this Kara. We simply don't know enough about this situation yet.
What? So obviously this just blows my mind. But huge grain of salt. This is from 4chan after all. But there has been things on 4chan that actually comes out true. There's some cool stuff in here, but there's also that worst case scenario about what's going to happen with Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman. Does it sound plausible? Yeah, it does kind of sound plausible on what Warner Brothers would do with the Flash movie. But I'm still optimistic and hopeful that Ben Affleck Batman will still be the Batman and Henry Cavill Superman will still be the Henry Cavill Superman. So I don't know what to think. What do you guys think? Do you guys believe this or not? Let me know down in the comments.
Very, very, very interesting. Again, credit to Chris Wong-Svensson for doing the video and finding out the information. Again, go and subscribe to his channel. He's a great YouTuber. But yes, it's very interesting. Now, is Sasha Calle's Supergirl Christopher Reeves, aka Brandon Routh's daughter? And where is Brandon Routh's Superman, who is Christopher Reeve's Superman? Let's not forget. Are they going to delete him, or would he be part of this? This is interesting. Now, half of me thinks that this is all true, and half of me thinks, are people just saying things? Are people guessing? You know, I can imagine Mirror Master working for the government. We've seen a few sources go on about this metahuman war and the government in this brand new reality that Barry's created, going after metahumans. So that may be true. Also, Black Flash being involved is awesome. So there's some exciting elements here. I'm not going to tell you this is definitely true, but it doesn't sound that far away from what could happen. And that's interesting because I was about to do a video about Ben Affleck and being in this movie. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread the exclusive announcement from Vanity Fair when they announced Ben was going to be in the Flash movie, because I think it's pretty interesting. Ben Affleck will return as Batman in The Flash. I remember hearing this and being like, oh my God, this is sensational. His Caped Crusader will appear along with Michael Keaton's in the upcoming movie, which explores multiverse of DC Comics heroes, by Anthony Breznikian of Vanity Fair. Batman Forever strives for a chance to set things right. That may finally happen with Ben Affleck's version of the crime fighter. The Argo director's brooding Dark Knight is coming back for one more movie, with Affleck agreeing to return as Bruce Wayne in the upcoming big screen version of The Flash, Vanity Fair has learned. One more movie? Is that just journalistic talk, or is this just his last movie? Portrayals of Batman always ignite furious debate among fans, and Affleck's selection for the part continues to provoke intense discussion. Even years after he first donned the cowl, some love him, some disparage him. Some refuse to see him in the role from the very beginning, while others consider him an underrated favourite who deserved more chances to play the role on screen. I agree. The Flash movie, which is planned for release in summer 2022, of course that's changed to November, will feature fast-moving hyper-hero Barry Allen, played by Ezra Miller, breaking the bonds of physics to crash into various parallel dimensions, where he'll encounter slightly different versions of DC's classic heroes. It's an adaptation of DC's 2011 Flashpoint series of comic book crossovers, directed by Andy Muschietti, the filmmaker behind the recent adaptations of Stephen King's It and It Chapter 2. This is from Andy. His Batman has a dichotomy that is very strong, which is his masculinity because of the way he looks and the imposing figure that he has and his jawline. But he's also very vulnerable, Muschietti said in an interview. He knows how to deliver from the inside out, but that vulnerability, he just needs a story that allows him to bring that contrast, that balance. So Andy pretty much saying he hasn't had that story yet, which is very interesting and controversial for some. Affleck got the script at the end of last week and agreed this week to join the project. He's a very substantial part of the emotional impact of the movie. Now this is interesting, a substantial part of the emotional element of the movie, which means maybe he dies before Barry goes back in time. Maybe. We don't know. Or maybe he gets deleted when Flash reboots the universe. But if he's a substantial part of the emotional impact of the movie, the interaction and relationship between Barry and Affleck's Wayne will bring an emotional level that we haven't seen before. The director added, it's Barry's movie, it's Barry's story, but their characters are more related than we think. They both lost their mothers to murder, and that's one of the emotional vessels of the movie. That's where Affleck's Batman kicks in. So that's interesting. So maybe he doesn't get killed off at the beginning, but there's definitely a brother versus older brother dynamic here, and I'm so excited to see that. I'm glad to be collaborating with someone who has been on both sides of the camera too, Muschietti said. He understands. Affleck won't be the only Batman making a comeback. A few more of alternate dimension heroes who turn up in the Flash movie will be figures we've seen before. Michael Keaton's Batman from the 1989 Tim Burton film is also set to appear in what Muschietti said was a substantial part. So we know that Keaton's Batman is playing a big role, probably as a co-lead to Ezra Miller's Barry Allen. There's another reason the Flash needed the character affectionately known as Batfleck in DC's movie universe. Affleck's Grey Temple Bruce Wayne is the one Ezra's Flash would consider the original Batman, the one he has already fought alongside in the previous Zack Snyder films. Muschietti said it wouldn't work as well for him to venture into the company of other Batman without having Affleck as the starting point. Let's read that again. Muschietti said it wouldn't work as well for him to venture into the company of other Batmen. Other Batmen. So are there more than Keaton and Affleck's Batman in this film? Because that's what he's saying, that there's other Batmen, including Batfleck and Keaton. That's nuts. Who else could it be? Without having Affleck as the starting point. He's the baseline. He's the part of the unaltered state before we jump into Barry's adventure. The director said there's a familiarity there. So he's the baseline. He's the part of that unaltered state before we jump into Barry's adventure. So this is the beginning of the film. Will we see him after the beginning of the film? That's doubtful. DC has still other motivations for exploring this story. Batman is too valuable a character to leave fallow for long, and new actors will forever be stepping into the role. By threading the concept of a multiverse into its DC storyline, Warner Brothers is attempting to create a way for all the competing factions of its fandom to coexist together. Yes, Anthony Breznikian makes a great point there. You can have all these different versions, and that's exciting. That's why I feel, why would they kill him off? Unlike the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Star Wars, in which everything is designed to be part of the same canon, although the MCU are going down the multiverse route as well. The multiverse approach can allow projects to vary greatly in tone or feature different actors while still being threaded together, keeping a broad correlation of fans from battling over what is legitimate. Is one of the biggest challenges for studios managing franchises with vast appeal and decades of history. Sony's animated Into the Spider-Verse also helped popularise the alternate dimension concept, introducing the Miles Morales character to a host of different Spider-Folk. So far, the multiverse approach has helped DC both differentiate itself and revisit the same characters without being accused of rebooting or erasing recent favourites. DC TV shows such as Arrow, Batwoman, Black Lightning and Supergirl have done crossover events, and a few months ago the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline laid the groundwork for the multiverse concept. Yes, it absolutely has. It's the origin of this strategy, with Miller's movie Flash making an appearance in that story by coming face to face with TV Flash played by Grant Gustin. This movie is a bit of a hinge in the sense that it presents a story that implies a unified universe where all the cinematic iterations that we've seen before are valid. Mazzetti said, wow, let's read that again. I know we've been here before, but this movie is a bit of a hinge in the sense that it presents a story that implies a unified universe where all the cinematic iterations that we've seen before are valid. That's very exciting, isn't it? We are going to see them all. Mazzetti said it's inclusive in the sense that it's saying all that you've seen exists and everything that you will see exists in the same unified universe. So everything we've ever seen exists in this brand new live action universe. How exciting is that? That doesn't mean that there aren't still intense disagreements in the fandom, and the return of Batfleck is sure to launch countless takes. Affleck was cast as Batman in late August of 2013, and the debate over his presence hasn't let up even after 2 movies with Snyder, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice and Justice League, and 1 cameo in Suicide Squad. His take will also get a new approach in the famed Snyder Cut of Justice League, which will appear on HBO Max, restoring the original director's vision before the film was handed off to Joss Whedon to complete a version of the film that seems to have left no one happy. Affleck had previously signed to direct and star in a standalone film called The Batman, but ultimately left the project after saying that its demands were taking too much of a personal toll. At the time he parted ways with the film, he was also dealing with the end of his marriage to Jennifer Garner and struggling with alcoholism. I showed somebody the Batman script, Affleck told the New York Times. They said, I think the script is good. I also think you'll drink yourself to death if you go through what you just went through again. Now, of course, that's aiming towards the pressure he was under from the studio. Barbara Mazzetti, the producer of The Flash and sister and longtime collaborator of the director, told Vanity Fair she had worried, this is what we talked about in the previous video by the way, she had worried this might make him reluctant to return at all. There has been all sorts of stories and things he said himself about having a very hard time playing Batman, and it had been difficult for him. She said, I think it was more about a difficult time in his life. When we approached him, he's now in a very different time in his life. He was very open to it, which was a bit of a surprise to us. It was a question mark. Very, very interesting. We're all humans and go through great times in our lives and terrible times in our lives, she added. Right now, he's in a place where he can actually enjoy being Batman. Plus, he doesn't have to carry the entire movie. It's a pivotal role, but at the same time, it's a fun part, she said. I nearly cried there. So right, she said, the director's sister, it's a pivotal role. That's interesting. That makes us more confident that we're going to see him a lot more than we ever thought he was. Now remember, this is an old article, I'm just rereading it. Filmmaker Matt Reeves, the Planet of the Apes movie, is now making The Batman with Pattinson as the lead. That film was in the midst of shooting when the coronavirus lockdown hit. Remember, it's an old article. And production is set to resume in the fall. Although a standalone film for Batfleck didn't happen, his admirers continue to champion Affleck's take on the character. With The Flash, they'll get to see him answer the bat signal at least one more time. Wow. So, let's go back. Chris Wong-Svensson has found a rumour. He has reported this rumour. So, Batman and Barry are investigating Nora Allen's death. They're trying to find a way to free Henry Allen. But Batman tells him that he remembers having a vision of him coming from the future to warn him about a nightmare future. This clicks in Barry's head and says, well, wait a minute, if I did that then, why can't I go back to the past, break the speed of time, the speed of light, and save my mother and save my family? And Batman actually inspires him to do this. So this is what we know of Ben Affleck's role. Kind of someone who's trying to help Barry, a father-son, a younger brother, older brother dynamic. So that's all we know. We don't know if he appears in the movie afterwards. Could it be somehow that Batfleck's in the new future, or in the new kind of well that Barry creates after saving his mother's life? It could be so. So they've already said he's got a substantial role in the film. So again, we don't know much, but we're starting to build the picture here. This is why I've done this video. Now, the thing about Sasha Calle's, aka Kara, apparently, being Christopher Reeves and Brandon Routh's Superman's daughter, is a very interesting revelation. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. As Chris pointed out, her costume is more Cavill than Christopher Reeve. It could be bullshit, but as Chris said, it could be a great way to bring the Christopher Reeve nostalgia there. But we know that Brandon Routh is now Christopher Reeve's Superman. So if true, surely he's got to show up as well. We've got Black Flash. We've got Mirror Master. It's all very exciting. We've got a metahuman war. Government officials chasing metahumans. This sounds like a fucking amazing script, a fucking amazing film. And if this is the film we're going to get, seeing what we've just heard from Chris Wong-Svensson and rereading that official announcement that Ben Affleck will be in the Flash movie, I think we've got something incredibly special. Do I think this is true? I simply don't know. But I'm not angered or triggered by any of this. What do you think about all this? Comment down below, like, share and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss this perfection. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.